Okay, so based on the last article that I wrote and based on the last XAF community stand-up, I mean, from the previous month, querying external data sources in XAF, I created this example. This is a connection to Cosmos DB from Microsoft, which is half SQL Server, half MongoDB. So in this example, I use the idea that they propose in this GitHub repository on how to filter non-persistent objects. So the prototype is kind of simple. Let me walk you through. So I created a Cosmos adapter base, which will receive the type of object that we want to query is abstract. And then you basically create adapter for that. So here is the adapter. And you only have to override one method, the dynamic collection fetch. In here, you can get, for example, the criteria that the user sent from the user interface. And with that criteria, you can build actually the query. This is the query to Cosmos. And then you iterate by hand and create a list. And then you return that list to the objects required for this event. So it's really simple. You just need to inherit from the adapter, pass the type of object that you want to query, and then execute the query. Here you can build the query as you want in general. And for this to work, you need to wire the application setup complete. In the setup complete, you wire the object space created event. And in the object space created, if this object space is non-persistent object, you create an instance of the client, of Cosmos client. Actually, you can do it in different ways. Maybe you just want to create one client per query. You can put that in the inside of the adapter. It's up to you on how to decide what to do with the client. And then you just create a new instance of the adapter. And the adapter will actually call the base of the Cosmos adapter that I showed you before. And in here, it will wire everything that you need to wire for when the data is requested. And then you need in the class implement this dynamic collection fetch, which in this case is abstract. So you need to implement it in actually the adapter. So in here. So here is the implementation. And this is just the query that you need to do in Cosmos in order to get the data. And let me show you this, the values. So this is a model class. It's like a non-persistent, which inherit from non-persistent base. I created a random key because the visual controls requires to have a key to identify how to sort and how to refer to a single row. So this was not part of the original object, but I just added that because it's required. And then the non-persistent object base is just a, it's a basic implementation which implement the iNotify property change and the set property and so on and so forth. So there is nothing special here. Let's run it. So what I created is a sample SAF application. It's basically empty. It only contains a security system and a navigation item for for the Cosmos entity. So I can go here. Now it's connecting to Cosmos. It was a little bit tricky because of the sync part, but in the end, we managed here in the office. And see, the pagination is working, is sorting. Regarding to filter and everything, you need to handle the criteria sent by the control. But you can even open a little view of this, and it's working. Of course, the delete will not work and things like that, because this data is unbound, it's outside of XAF. And that's basically it. So remember that in the adapter that you create, you have to inherit from the Cosmos adapter, pass the entity from Cosmos. The entity should contain a key, which can be random like this one, just for the visual controls. And it should has the domain component attribute for XAF to create a view for it. And let's see what else is important. Okay, so if you want to create a different, for example, you want to have two different navigation items that point to the same entity, but is filter, you just inherit from this one. Create a child class of this and create an adapter for that child class. And if the results that you want to show are different, you just need to, in that adapter, change the query a little bit on how you wanted to show the data. And that's basically it. And to include that other entity, you should create here a new instance of the adapter below this one. And that's basically it. So it was a little bit tricky at the beginning, but in the end, it's kind of a normal flow that we use to present non-persistent objects.